What is going on, everybody? Hope you guys are doing well. Tell you what, they've made this a national story, and it's because it's good for, let's be honest, for viewing. They got 24 hours, 7 days a week to try to put something on television. It's good for viewing, so let's put it up there. But it is a national story. It's become a national story. What about the young kid that got shot in L.A. yesterday? Nah, nobody cares. Why? Because there was no politics involved. What about the shootings in Salt Lake City?
Outside of church.
Outside of church. Couple dead, several injured? Salt Lake, it's a story. But there's no politics involved in that. And this is politics. So it's a horrible situation what took place. And I said it at the beginning of the show, I'll say it again. Two things can be right. Number one, he did the thing that he thought was right, especially now knowing that he apparently was hit by another person who was here illegally and dragged some 100 yards, and he felt he did what was right. Absolutely. You know what? If that's what you really feel like that was right, based on your experience, based on you're making a snap, everybody's like, she was turning the wheel, she was doing it. Yes, totally. All of those things. But he's living it in the moment. That's the Monday morning quarterback side of stuff. That is. And she could have been wrong place, panicked, a lot of things going on, screaming and yelling. Somebody approaches the car. One person you can hear yell, move along. And then another person's telling her to effing stay and get out of the car. Grabs into it. She panics. And then paid the ultimate price. Now it's the politics of it all. That's it. It's the politics of it all. And it's sad that we're in this situation, that we're having to talk about a woman whose kid's going to grow up without a mom now. And where everybody's arguing over, this side, what about that side? Well, what about the human side? Because I doubt the guy's, I think everybody thinks, this guy was doing his job and he's probably celebrating this like he's big. No, I think you'd be surprised. He's probably not feeling great today. It's probably weighing heavy on him. Because if it's not weighing heavy on you and you're not thinking about it, that's when you know it's time to maybe do something else. So it's horrible. Yeah, but two things can be right. But they've made it a national story when, we should be talking about the economy. We should be talking about the ACA and whether or not they're going to extend the Obamacare cuts. Call them whatever the Obamacare premiums, call them whatever you want. But it's still about the economy, stupid. We're in an election year, and the Republicans better figure something out. If they don't want to lose the House, I don't think they're going to lose the Senate. I think it would be really hard for them. Not saying it's not impossible, but I think things would have to go wrong. You'd have to be at that point, if you're losing the Senate because things have gone sideways, especially in the economy, then what happens? Well, then they're in a lot of trouble. And we're all in trouble. We're not talking about this stuff. We're talking about why is this, inflation. Oh, inflation's not cooling the way that people think. Remember that last inflation report that everybody was celebrating? One of the key factors, one of the key indicators in there, they wrote 0 on because they didn't have the data and they just released it. No, that's not how you do things. And when you go and look at the unemployment numbers, go look at the unemployment when it comes to the youths of America, the recent college graduates, how high their unemployment is. And if you don't think that matters, Ken, how's Iran?
Cut off.
Cut off. Why is that? Because the youth of Iran are sick and tired of all the stuff.
Yeah, no internet and no telephone service.
That's insane. I bet it's getting so crazy over there right now. It's wild.
I bet you people are getting killed.
I would assume so as well. When you're doing stuff like that, cash handouts, killings, all kinds of stuff. The change is coming there. Why? Because you have a bunch of young people that are sick and tired of living in the situation they're in, and they're frustrated. We're not going to see that here, but, let me tell you what comes with the young being discontent and frustrated and angry. Donald Trump was a person that was able to benefit on the young being pissed, frustrated, and angry because of the Democrats. Mondani was a person that was able to benefit from people being frustrated, pissed, and angry. And who were those people? Young people. Young people. Because they look around and they think, nothing's going good for us. We got nothing going on. So this is a year where Venezuela. We're talking about we're in Venezuela, kind of, sort of, but not really. We're taking their oil, but what are we really doing? We're going to be there indefinitely. We got rid of the bad guy, but kept the bad girl. I wonder if she likes being called the bad girl. You think she likes that? You like that? You like that? Delcy, huh? Bad girl. You're a bad girl. We kept her. But what happens in a few months, if weeks, if they don't start to see anything change? This is a nation that's already on the brink, it seems to be, for the last several years of something. Are we going to start sending soldiers in there? What's that costed us? I have no idea. But, they're already starting to ask questions. Well, wait a minute. You got rid of this, but you left this person. This person is as bad as that person. And the difference between her and Maduro is she's competent comparatively to Maduro. So I don't want to be there indefinitely. So there's all kinds of stuff that are more important because those are dollars that it's called. That stuff's not free. Our military's not volunteering that stuff. Because we got the fact that we're in such debt. It is so massive, and it grows every single day. And we're talking about growing, another 1.7 million here and another trillion here. And we're talking about doing this and let's create. We need to focus on. We need to start, austerity. Austerity measures. And the whole thing about we got the biggest tax cut in history. The rich got the biggest tax cut. Everybody else got a little bit. Just a smidge. And yours goes away. The wealthy, they get to keep theirs. They do. They get to keep theirs. But what point do we break it and say, all right, we're going to have to do some serious cuts? Is it Social Security? Are you just hoping that by the time it breaks that a vast majority of the old people will have died? Is that it? Is that the go for that one? Well, at least that they're all gone. I mean, are we going to have to raise the age? I have a feeling that's what they're going to do. They're going to raise the age of Social Security to 70. I wouldn't be surprised. And then you've got, the cost of health care. There's no fix. The Democrats broke it so bad. That thing is just, it's. But the fix that was supposed to be isn't there. They can't even figure out what to do. And every time there's something, we're going to do this, we're going to do that, we're going to give you this, we're going to give you that. There's still nothing. And everybody's like, well, Obamacare, the stuff needed to go away. Yeah, I get it. But the problem is you and I didn't create the mess. Government did. So government is got to figure out a way to unwind it. And what does government never do? Never gets out of anything government gets into. Ever. And we could fix so many of these problems. I love the fact that we're going to go start auditing stuff and go looking for fraud. But what kind of fraud are we really looking for? We're probably only going to go into blue states and blue cities, and we're going to audit the nonprofits, and we're going to look and see what was going on, and we're going to come after them because it's politically advantageous. Yet, as we were talking about earlier, the Pentagon is full of God knows what. Empty rooms, trillions of dollars, no audit forever and a day, and they haven't passed anything forever and a day when it comes to there. The money is, we can't even fathom how much it is that's wasted every year. I used to be amazed when I'd read stories about Pablo Escobar and the wealth that he had with the cash, that he would spend, several $1,000s a month just on rubber bands to wrap the cash in. Do you know how much rubber bands cost back in the 90s? Probably $1,000 for a nickel. So think about that. And they would say he would lose at times $1 million a week or a month because rats would eat it, or it would just, start to decay in the forest. Now take that and multiply that by trillions. And that's what we have. And we need to fix. And I don't think this Republican Congress, they can't even get anything done with Trump as president. And Trump recognizes they get nothing done before next year, that chances are all the stuff that he's done with the swipe of a pen is going to be undone in 28 if the Republicans don't win. So it is frustrating, but those things matter. And robots matter because that's coming soon. The cost of these robots, I think within 2 years, you'll see them in some homes. And I think by the end of the decade, you'll see them in a lot of homes. So people will have some form of robot inside their house. And no, not just those robots for Bell. He's very excited about those robots. This one company, Bell, you'll be happy to know, you could build your own, and all the parts are washable. Now get ready for this. You can also choose several heads to put on top of it.
I don't want to build my own. That's what I'm paying them for.
Well, but no, you're designing it. So like if you were able, you want to design your bunker where you get to hide from everybody. You don't want somebody to surprise you.
Underground bunker. Please get it right.
Okay. Yeah. But you're able to pick, like if you want her to be a brunette, if you want her to be whatever it is, you're able to pick that, and you're picking everything. That's pretty cool.
I want her to be green like Captain Kirk Squeeze.
Oh, yeah. She was nice. She was green, but it's okay. With envy. Oh, lordy.
I wonder if you can pay to have them make a head that looks like some celebrity's face.
I'm sure that's going to happen. God, how weird would that be? Because, they already do that in the adult world, right, with some of their potty parts. But at what point does somebody license, if you want to date Lucy Liu kind of thing? I don't know why I went to Lucy Liu. But you know what I mean? It's a possibility. You don't know. All right, coming up, we'll talk a little bit more about robots. We've got a bunch of other good stuff on the way as well. Probably a little bit more about Minnesota, maybe. I don't know. To me, that story it's a story that is meant to inflame and enrage. It's more than to figure something out. And by the time anybody figures out the truth, we'll have all moved on by then. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. You're not a king. There's got to be some accountability. You can't just go, well, it's just a maneuver. Because, the Ukraine war, Russia war, that's not a war. That's police action. No. Especially if you're going to keep us there for a long time. What did he say? What was that word? Indefinitely. That's what I heard. For the foreseeable indefinitely is how long I think he's going to be there. Marco, man, how many jobs that guy have?
Governor of Greenland.
That's right. Oh, is that what? Oh, that might be it. He's the viceroy of Venezuela, and he is the governor. I like the governor of Greenland. Do you think he'll get a uniform?
I don't know, but I hope that poor bastard's getting those extra salaries.
Yeah, no. Well, there's a Speaking of, this is good. There's a report out about ghost growing. You know what that is? That's the new thing. So remember quiet quitting? Right? You had the quiet quitting and all that. Ghost growing is where you work for a company, and many of you guys, maybe you guys can let me know, where they give you a title and they make you feel like something, but you get no more responsibility, you get no more pay. It's kind of like, here, you're now this. You're a ghost grower. You're a grower, not a shower.
Does it come with a hat and whistle? Yeah, sure. We'll get it to you next week.
Oh, man. Yeah. Viceroy of Sealand. We already have that guy. He's married to Zsa Zsa. Yeah, the whistle. You got to have the whistle. And there's got to be a uniform. But it's what they're doing, what companies are doing is they're not going to pay you any more money.
It's going to give you more responsibility.
They're going to give you a little bit more responsibility, but it's responsibility that's not real responsibility. It's one of those things where it's like, remember when you used to file A to F? Now you got to go all the way to M.
So basically, it should be called the Dwight Schrute law.
Yes, exactly. Your stapler. Looking for the stapler.
Yeah, Dwight Schrute. He was the assistant to the. What was his? He was the assistant to the assistant regional manager.
Yes, exactly. It's like a promise ring. I promise that one day I'll buy you another ring.
Right.
White House has announced that over 1 million new jobs were created in December, but they were all filled by Marco Rubio. I love that somebody sent it to. Who's that? 8207 sent me that. That was awesome. Yeah, the ghost growing, and 7 out of 10 Americans are just completely unhappy with their job. And they're frustrated to the point where they would love to have a new job, but there's no jobs right now. There isn't. Not a ton of jobs. In fact, we're at the lowest job opening point we've been in for several years. And so you might have to just be stuck with your assistant to the assistant manager job. Does it come with a new business card? You know what, Sandra? That's funny because in the report I was reading, a lot of that. You get a new business card. You get a new signature, at the bottom of your emails.
Yeah.
But you don't get, and it's not even real responsibility. Like, you can show us how it's done. No, it's none of those things.
You could put it on your resume.
You could put it on your resume. Put it on, but I was reading your resume, and I'm very impressed with it. Your resume. Have you ever gone into a job interview and you think, who are you to interview me? Oh, Lord. That is so funny. Oh, somebody loves their job. Good. I love my job, too. 3778. We call them corporals in the Army. All the responsibility with none of the pay.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
It's kind of like middle management.
Yes. It's middle management. But the other thing is, part of the whole ghost growing thing is people are starting to realize I'm not going to ever be upper management. I'm not getting to the C-suite. And they're just going to give me, at some point in time, you're going to retire as the vice president of the vice president of filing.
Ghost growing leads to quiet quitting.
It leads to quiet quitting, which leads to sadness. Sadness, I say, sadness. Coming up, I think Matt's here today, right? Or do we have Cameron?
Brother Matt should be here today.
All right, coming up. We got a lot of fun stuff still to talk about. I'm sure I'm starting to get a bunch of texts about the ghost growing and people laughing about loving their jobs because it is crazy out there, the job market. And you've got to learn how to navigate nowadays through AI in the resume phase because AI is crushing so many people.
Well, yeah, it's like if you don't hit an algorithm,
yep,
you're just out.
Yep. If there's like one thing it spots that person goes, this may be trouble, you're done. We'll talk about that, among other things, straight ahead. Chad Benson, Super Tech, 99.7. A lot of people telling us about their great experience when it comes to going in and interviewing for a job, which is just so weird, isn't it? Sometimes. And interviewing with somebody and you're thinking, oh, my Lord. And if you have to interview people, it's a thing, man.
When I was doing record promotion, I actually got a call from another label that asked me to interview for their opening they had. So I go in, and one of the first things the guy says to me is like, so why do you want this job? I said, I don't. You called me. They offered me the job, and I turned it down.
Oh, Lord. So I've had some weird interviews, you know. I mean, I've had some, because I've had quite the life of doing a bunch of stuff. How about you, Ken? You interviewed a lot or have interviewed people a lot?
Fortunately, I have interviewed way more people than I have been interviewed. I've been able to stay at my jobs pretty long.
That's good.
And the people who showed up late to the interview or just didn't, they never got another chance.
Oh, goodness me. I've been in some interviews where I've interviewed people. So you guys want a great fun? You want a wacky story? Let's do a wacky story time. I had... to this day, so my buddy had a big financial company, but you know, this is back in the day when you used to have to, you could call, right? It's just cold calls. So he's like, dude, come run it for me. He goes, you're doing your voiceovers and comedies. You got time during the day? I said, yeah, because I need you to build me a room. And I said, okay. So I go over there. And these are just like the people that are just they're getting past the, you know, all the wives and the, you know, the gatekeepers and stuff and trying to set appointments and stuff. So I did it. So I had one guy. First of all, there was like 3 guys that came for their AA meeting, which is fine. But let's just say they were hilarious and each one of them, there was always drama. There was never not drama. Then I had Robin, who I ended up setting up several rooms, and Robin was trans, and Robin was hilarious, and Robin got the surgery in the Philippines. Yeah, that was an interesting thing. She's like, hey, Chad. People would call him and go, hey, who's the guy that just left a message? I go, oh, that was Robin. She's over there. He goes, she? Because I didn't, you know, at first I thought, it looks like a dude. But I hired this girl, this blonde. She was kind of stunning, but she was like 21. She was rough around the edges. And she kind of came dressed up. But, you know, I knew she had some ink. She sat in one area, right? One little booth. And the lady that sat next to her, this big old black lady, when she took off her jacket, swastikas everywhere,
Whoa.
SS bolts, all of that stuff. Her stepdad and mom were part of the Aryan Brotherhood prison gang. She's like, oh, I left that all behind. I don't even deal with that. Her and the black lady became like best friends. And I would just sit there and go, oh, my God. But this one guy came in, and in the middle of the interview, so I'm interviewing him, right? Yeah. And look, you hire 100. If one sticks, it's great. His tooth fell out in the middle of the interview.
Oh.
And he like, it fell, and he reached down and he picked it up, and he just kept talking, and he put it in there. And I'm like, oh.
In?
What?
He put it back in?
And I'm like, this is fantastic.
Awesome.
And that's what a, you know, call center was like back in the day.
Yeah.
But I'm like you, man. How many people don't show up for jobs?
Yeah, there's
For jobs or for interviews?
Both. How many people get jobs? Because there's and they'll go out on lunch and they'll never come back. They'll never come back. They are, you know.
I remember I answered an ad in the paper in Tulsa one time. I was between jobs. And, you know, it sounded, you know, kind of interesting to me. And so they just had a bunch of people come in, and then they were going to present to you. Well, out from behind the curtain comes a guy I worked with whenever I was a call center manager there at a carpet cleaning outfit. And I just immediately just laughed, and I said, adios, boys.
Because they tell you something, too. And oh god, and you know,
He was by the way, he was holding a brand new vacuum. He wanted everybody to go around selling his vacuums.
That's so awesome. That is so. Could you imagine that? Like, today, like now the vacuums are AI.
Yeah.
So
I've got a Roomba.
do you?
Yep.
Now, how does it? First of all, what's Fritz think of it?
Fritz is indifferent to it. It doesn't really mess with Fritz. If it comes around him, Fritz just hops up on the couch.
I like it when I see videos and the cats are driving around on him. Quick, onward we go. Selling vacuums. What kind of vacuums? I hope it was a good one.
I don't know, man. It was. I mean, it looked fancy. I guess this was like. I want to say this was like 92 or 1993, maybe 94. It's right before I got married. Jennifer and I were living together, and I was kind of in between jobs at the time. And I saw him step out, and I just went, "Oh man, no way." I mean, that call room that I worked in. We had a pitch sheet. You have to read what the company tells you to say. And I remember at the end of the pitch, you're supposed to ask the person you're on the phone with, "Isn't that super?"
And stick to the script.
Oh, you got to sit. Yeah, you had to stick to the script. Isn't that super?
Woo! That's just great.
Well, what was interesting too is once you would so let's say you book to clean somebody's carpet. Well, it's the job of the technician then when he or she gets out there. Well, then they start upselling you on things.
Oh yeah.
So initially, you quote somebody at the time. You could quote somebody 3 rooms and maybe a hallway for like $45 or something like that. But a lot of times those guys were getting out of there with over $100 or something, just tell them that, well, you got to have this pre-treatment.
Oh, it's the pre-treatment. It's the pre-treatment.
Were you getting a cut or was it just hourly?
No, I was just hourly.
It's the pre-treatment. It is, man. It's always about the pre-treatment.
But the techs got a cut of whatever, they sold extra.
Did you get like a bonus for how many appointments you set?
Yeah.
Yeah. And they do like a pizza party.
No, dude, what? Oh, my gosh. This is so funny, man. This was such an interesting time in my life. It's where I met my wife. I actually met her in this call center. And anyway, whoever booked the most deals or whoever's calls led to the most deals that night, they might get $5.
Oh. That is so.
How are you not insulted by that?
And see, because we were in the financial, so we had all kinds of money. So like money was never an issue, but if you landed something because you weren't licensed, if that person was traced back to you, you'd get a little something for it. But it was so the people. I'm just like, oh my Lord. It's just insane. It was. I always say, you know what? It was an AA meeting with phones. Yeah. And the excuses
so free
these
coffee
people
and cookies?
have. Huh?
There was free coffee and cookies?
Oh, yes.
Oh, it's
yes.
all the coffee you can drink.
All the coffee you can start. White styrofoam cups.
And get this, boys. We could smoke.
Oh,
we could smoke right there in the phone room.
You can't have a call room without smoke. We would, and this is the stuff that these kids, they don't understand how they don't get to go through some of this neat stuff that we went through, as crazy as it was.
Right.
Because it helps build what we have.
Yeah.
And it's so amazing. But man, I tell you what, their drama too, because that was the other thing. Because by the time I had the room set, I had like 20 people from the same halfway house. And it was just nothing but drama.
Fighting, arguing. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I go, hey, where's so-and-so? He crashed his car. I'm like, what? Yeah, he crashed his car. He fell off the wagon. I said, he crashed his Esprit? But he was the only one with a car.
Dude, I'll never forget. I took a call from a deputy, an investigator, homicide detective from the county where I went to high school there in Oklahoma. And, he tells me his name, and I'd worked in radio down there, so I knew him, from doing news. And I said, hey, man, it's Ken Weaver. And he goes, oh, hey, Ken. He said, you got such and such working for you there? And I said, yeah, I do. And he said, well, he's a suspect in a homicide here. I mean, I was like, okay.
Goodness me. It was just so.
Needless to say, that guy, whenever he wanted a cigarette break that night, I said, okay.
Yeah, okay. You got it. That's good.
You got it.
That's good.
Then we fired him over the phone.
Oh, you got to do it over the phone. Because you're like,
I don't want that guy coming back.
Man, we had this guy, Randy, that worked for us. And I loved Randy. But they used to make fun of him all the time. They used to just badger him. And I used to tell Randy, dude, when you come back in, you shoot this place up. Remember, dude, I was the only one that was on your side. Wound me and I'll tell your story.
I worked with one guy. Oh, my gosh. Man, I should write a book about my phone center days. This guy was a great guy. I loved him to death. But he had a story for everything, and they were all fantastic lies. He claimed that he was chased by a Bengal tiger in Vietnam.
I think I work with that guy. Because the guy who crashed his Esprit or whatever car he had a job too. He was in the Navy. He was on the Indianapolis.
Yeah. Oh, man, these experiences.
A Bengal tiger.
Yeah, chased by a Bengal tiger in Vietnam, and he just said, now, what I had to do, I just had to hold my gun behind me with that trigger.
So awesome.
And we knew it was BS, but, man, we just laughed.
Because it was so much fun.
Yes.
It was. As horrible as it was, you're like, I'm going to remember you wackadoos for all the wrong reasons for the rest of my life. All right, we got Matt coming up straight ahead. We'll wrap it up with Matt. It's the welcome Matt's going to be rolled out. Chad Benson Show, Super Talk 99.7. Matt's in the house. Matt, we were talking about jobs, all the great jobs, the horrible jobs we used to have that ended up being hilarious in real life. We're talking about our call center experience, Ken and I.
Oh, man, I did that once. I worked at a temporary agency, and they assigned me to it was a call center where people would call back to find out the status of their credit card application.
Yeah.
But these were pre-approved applications, and so we were legally obligated to give them $500.
Yeah.
But
Did
like
they
these
spend
people,
$400 or whatever?
well, but these people were like under the impression they were gonna, they were like being offered up to like $20,000 in credit. And they were pre-approved. And so I just talked to angry people every day. They were so mad.
When they're finding they're getting $500.
Right. And I'm like, and we were trained that yes, sir, I'll tell you what, I want to talk to your supervisor. Okay, that's very good. I'll put you on hold and I'll get you with my supervisor. And then I would put that person on hold. And then I'd say like, hey, Chad, are you doing anything right now? Okay, you're my supervisor for this lady. Yeah. And then we would Chad would you would do the same thing to me. I would do this. So we were just passing it back and forth. Hi, I'm Chad. I'm the supervisor. Can I help you? Oh, no. Well, I'm sorry. And you would go through you'd have a little, page of what to say.
It
was awful.
It was so.
It was awful. It was so awful.
Can't work with a guy who used to tell the biggest lies in history.
Oh, yeah.
Like he got chased by a Bengal tiger
in Vietnam.
What?
Number one, he wasn't old enough to be a Vietnam veteran. But he claimed that he was in the Vietnam War. I think he said, boys, I think it was something around 66 or 67, and things were heating up. I heard this crashing coming out of the jungle. Look behind me, it's a Bengal tiger running right at me. So he took off running with his rifle pointed behind him, just with the trigger pulled.
Oh, well, I mean, that'll...
Some of these people...
do it.
And they all had other jobs, too. That was the other thing. We had this one lady. I was like, Debbie, what are you doing? She goes, Chad, I'm building up I'm a life coach. I'm like, you take the bus here.
When I was managing Waffle House, so I'm managing a Waffle House, and this guy comes to me and tells me I can't work this weekend. My grandmother died. And so I was like, okay, well, that's fine. And, I'm talking to my district manager, and she's like, this is his fifth grandmother.
It's like Epstein.
How many grandmothers And so I called him and asked him. And she told me not to. I did. I said, how many grandmas you got, bro? It's like you're on number 5. So what are you trying to say? I was like, what do you think I'm trying to say? But to work. Good gracious.
Oh, that is so good.
Oh, no. I sold suits at a Filene's department store in Bristol, Connecticut. That was oh, my God.
What are you doing in Bristol?
I moved to Connecticut for it. I lived in Connecticut for 9 months.
ESPN?
I did not. I worked. I got
the only one who didn't.
I got to drive by ESPN and see what the happy people were doing every day while I went to work at Filene's department store just outside of Hartford. No, I lived in Middletown. We moved up there. My first wife and I moved up there because our marriage was not working out, and so we had the brilliant decision: let's move.
Let's put ourselves in an awkward position.
Let's move to where the only person I know on planet Earth is you, and I don't like you. So that didn't work out at all. But working at a department store is pretty bad too. I mean, we would have people stealing from us in the department store. And then they would bring the clothing back with like big ink stains on it because there's ink tabs on it.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't take this back. And then they would want to talk to a manager. They talked to a manager. The manager would make me take it back. I'm like, what are we doing? He goes, it's easier to write it off.
Oh, God.
Oh, that sounds great. That's great.
I like your marriage advice. Move somewhere where the only person you don't like is the only person you know.
There's a way that I say that in private life that I can't say on the radio. It's like, how brilliant of me. Let's move somewhere where the only human being on planet Earth I know is the bleep I don't like.
There you go. I understand. So what are you talking about today?
I don't know. Is there anything in the world to talk about today?
We pretty much avoided it for a vast majority of the show because we knew you talked about it, Chris talked about it. We wanted to make people laugh and give them a little levity before you start to get somewhat serious.
Well, I mean, we've got some session talk away from Minnesota and away from Venezuela. We've got some local talk. We got this Columbia Water thing going down. I got Jack Johnson coming on at 5 o'clock. We got a big show.
So. Okay. Matt's back. You guys have a good one. We'll do it tomorrow.